You go feel the vibe. Experience, you go feel the vibe. Tell them, experience. Feel that experience. Odum bring that experience. So link and vibe with the experience.
This week on Experience with Odum.
When I started then, we were not doing so much elaborate in terms of even decor and design. Most of the decor we did would just be on the table, like it was just table layout. Yes. But now everything's on the ceiling now.
Plus.
So if you can't afford it, don't read. It's not wise to put pressure on your guy to be, or friends or family. Just do what you can afford, and really and truly, if after 5-10 years you can afford it, come.
Today on Experience with Odum, event planner and coordinator, WhiteChalkThePlanner.
Glory, glory, glory. Once again, welcome to your most edifying show on TV, Experience with Odum. Today, I have with me one of Africa's and Ghana's finest wedding planners, and he's in the person of Mr. Brian Fafa Techimanson. He's the CEO of WhiteChalkThePlanner. So, stay tuned and let's go for a quick breather, and when we come back, we'll dive straight into this interview.
You go feel the vibe.
You're welcome back from this commercial break. Like I said, today we have one of Africa's and Ghana's finest wedding planners. Yes, and like I said earlier, he's in the person of Mr. Brian Fafa Techimanson. So, if you're really interested in wedding, you really want to plan your wedding and really want to get into the wedding business, stay tuned. This is for you. So, let's welcome Mr. Brian Fafa Techi. Chef.
Yeah, hi Odum.
Great. It was great having you. We've seen you rolling all around the globe. Yes, doing great things, having to do great weddings and all that. But before we get into your wedding and all that, I think my viewers would want to know who Mr. Brian Fafa Techimanson is. Growing up, how has it been for you?
Okay, so I come from a family of 4. I have 3 siblings. I'm the eldest.
Great.
And I went to fast school. From there, I went to drama school, University of Ghana, and then I started working. I worked with Spire Productions when I was in school for some time, and then before service ended, I had gotten a job with Cleaver House. I think I was fired after 4 months.
You're fired?
I was fired after 4 months, and then I got another job with Crystal Park at East Legon, and then I resigned. I resigned after 2 years to start what we are doing now. I mean, growing up was good. I had a very great childhood. My mom is a fantastic woman.
Mommy's
yeah. I mean, she even teaches me how to manage a business now, what to do and what not to do.
She's like your managers.
Yeah. I mean, she's the Bible. The Bible says this, don't do this. The Bible says this, how you should treat your workers. This is what you should do. Are you sowing seed? Are you paying your tithe? You know, this kind of thing. Okay. So I had a very good childhood, and I had good friends. I had great friends. I'm also a church boy. You know, I like church, and I'm an indoor person. Because of the work I do, I like to stay indoors a lot, and I like to travel. I like to travel a lot. I think that's basically about me, yeah.
Great. So you said you were fired.
I was fired, yeah.
Cleaver House.
Yeah, I was fired from Cleaver House.
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months. 4 months into the job, I was fired.
How?
Was it 4
months?
6? I think it was 6 months into the job, I was fired. I think I was young then. I think I was just 18.
Oh, okay.
18 years, 18 or 19. I was very silly, making the wrong decisions and all that. Now I know that. Now I know better, and I know why I was fired. You know, that I was making very silly decisions and always supporting the client over my boss.
I get it.
You know, thinking that, oh, we are charging them too much. And I remember once I was sitting in a meeting with my boss and the client, and I was speaking for the client, and my boss was looking at me sternly, but I was constantly speaking for the client. I was like, this guy is crazy. He has to go. So, yeah, I was fired and I got another job, But these processes taught me a lot of things. I mean, working at Cleaver House, for instance, even though I was just from the university, I didn't know how to use a computer. I didn't know how to use Word, Excel. I didn't know how to use all those things. So I learned on the job, how to do invoices, all those tricks. And so I think it was a good one.
Great. Speaking about the God factor, was that the reason why you did CRS back in Butchie?
How do you do that? Yeah, I did CRS. No, that wasn't why. No, that wasn't at all. No, that wasn't why. In finance, I wanted to do literature.
Okay.
I wanted to do literature.
History,
CRS, and French. I wanted to do literature and French, and as part of that, it was either. I think as part of that, CRS was part of the electives. Okay. But it wasn't because I was Christian.
Okay. That's good. I think you had it very smooth with the CRS most of it.
Yeah, because I was a church boy. Sunday school. I knew most of the characters in the Bible, so it wasn't as difficult as the ones who didn't go to church. It wasn't that. But I know in CRS it was more of, the history behind what's happening.
Yeah.
The history, the locations and so forth and so it could be more technical than just reading the story of Joseph and maybe David.
I also did CRS.
Oh, you did.
CRS, yeah.
You did.
So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So after Cleaver House, you moved to
Crystal Park.
Yeah,
I moved to Crystal Park. I was the operations manager there for some time, and I guess that was where the interest for weddings began.
Okay.
Weddings specifically, and even decor. Design and decor. That was where, because my boss then, a lady who would do the floral arrangement, who would do the aesthetics and and all that. They arranged the table layout and all that. I think that looking at her, and it was a startup, so we were not a lot. It was just myself, her daughter, and the front office girl.
Oh, okay.
And so we're doing everything. I was doing everything from renting items to helping her with the florals, to sometimes even cleaning the washrooms and so forth and so on.
Because you are not many, so there'll be a lot of
things to do. Yeah.
Great.
So I picked up those things from Crystal Park, and I fell in love with those kind of elements at Crystal Park. I think looking back now, that's where I picked or fell in love with those kind of.
Having to be in the drama school.
Yeah.
One would say that probably you should be an actor. Probably you should get into music.
Yeah.
Probably you should be a lecturer, producer.
Yeah.
But you moved straight into planning, decor, coordination.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, at drama school, I wanted to be an actor. Really, I remember in fancy one, the students in fancy one were reading this book, something about Anansawa, not a Dufa. Oh, it escaped. But we were reading a particular book, and then students from drama school came to stage that particular book, and I was very elated. I was like, when they closed, I was like, are you guys saying you're from the university? Like, yeah. I'm like, and this is what you do? Like, yeah. I'm like, you guys act. I thought it was fun, and it was a beautiful production. The lights, the dialogue, the costume, the makeup. I was blown away, and I said, you know what? I'm going to drama school.
Oh.
I'm going to drama school. My parents, my mom was very supportive, but my aunties, my grandmother were laughing at me. Oh, really? Dondology? You want to go and play drums? You want to go and dance?
The perception.
You want to go and dance? When I got to University of Ghana, I realized that there was so much to do. There there, because under drama school they even had event planning.
Mm-hmm.
They even had event planning. They had theater management. There was so much to do under that course, and I think I wanted to actually do event planning, but when I got to level 400, that course was no more.
Oh.
And it was now theater management. So okay, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me then do theater management. But the day that I went to do the registration, the class was full, and so I had to do drama in education.
Okay.
That was it. Yes, and I also wanted to be an actor. I thought I'll make a fine actor. But after some time, I realized, listen, it wasn't paying much, because in school I had some opportunity to do some movies here and there, and it wasn't paying much. The conditions were bad, and I mean, long lines to learn and rehearsals upon rehearsals, and the money was not good.
You realize you'll be doing a lot of sacrificial jobs.
That's not sacrificial.
No, I mean,
when you
quote,
when you start for some time, you know, okay, I'm a startup. I'll do some sacrificial jobs. I'll do some jobs for free. But then, as we speak, there are some people who have been in the industry for long and they're not earning much. They have degrees or they even have masters, but they're not earning much. You understand? And I like money. You know.
It tells.
You know, I like money.
Money is good.
Money is good. So I'm like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I think that I think that after some time, as I directing the plays at church, and I realized that I was rather a better director than an actor. And so it was even good. I didn't even venture into acting full time. But then, as fate and God will have it, I chanced upon weddings, you know, decor, planning, coordination, and it's been good. You know, it's been good.
All right. So, drama school. Then you get into planning, decor, coordination.
How did that happen?
Yeah, how did that?
So when I was in school, I used to, after Shelley had premiered the movies on at the National Theatre, I think during that time when I was level 2 and she had just started doing those fancy movies, Perfect Picture, Story in the Tale. And so one day I walked into the office and I was like, in the office, and I said, you know what, I want to premiere these movies on the campuses. She was like, are you sure you can do it? I'm like, yeah, I can do it. And I did that at Lego and it was a hit. You know, I planned the entire thing at Lego.
You were the one planning.
Yeah, I did that. I started it at Lego, and we went to TED, and it was good, like it was good.
Because I've been looking for the person who planned that one.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
From Perfect Picture to Scorn to A Sting in the Tail,
yeah.
you know, I did all that.
Okay.
It was good. And I realized that, wow, I'm good at planning. I've always known I'm good at planning, because I would do that at home. But I was like, okay, I'm really good at this. So even before I finished university, I was taking letters to places like Charterhouse, Power Productions, and so. But then
it wasn't forthcoming.
It was not forthcoming. I didn't get to work in any of these companies. So then that was how before service ended, I got a job with an event company at Crystal Park, because they were doing events, but their event was not what I thought it was. Theirs were more of banquets, parties.
Okay.
So that was how it started for me, because I thought I was going to do more of like productions, music productions, producing movies, you know, those kind of events. But then when I went to Crystal Park, then they were doing banquets, parties, weddings. Like, oh wow, this is also fun. I mean, the glitz, glamour, food, drinks, music, meeting people. Like, oh, I think I want to do this. So that's how it started for me.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. So let's just say that was the motivation behind you starting planning, decor, coordination.
Yeah.
Yes. And when did White Chalk start for you?
Okay, so White Chalk started when I was at Crystal Park at East Legon. So when I was there, I'll get side gigs to do gigs for friends. Friends would recommend me, and I was earning more than what my monthly salary was.
So friends were your first your focal point of starting business.
You know, they'll call me, oh, we want to coordinate this for us. Oh, we have a friend who wants a planner. And for me, it was just planning and coordination then. I wasn't doing decor.
Okay.
So they'll call me, and on the weekends, I would just go and coordinate the event or plan. And it was good. I was fetching much more than I was getting.
So before you continue,
yeah,
I'm not cutting you short, but this has got to that intense point. But before you continue, let's go for a quick breather.
Sure.
Then when we come back,
You go feel the vibe.
Alright, sure. So you're welcome back again from this short breather. So we'll delve into that was the first gig, Tesano Royale. You remember how much you?
Yeah, I remember my. So after everything had been done, I got a profit of 5,000 Ghana cedi. Yes.
Then like 2013.
Yeah, 5,000 Ghana cedi.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like good money right now.
That's good. That and it was good money then. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
I'm thinking even now. That's
Now,
good money.
yeah. For my first gig, 5,000 Ghana cedis.
Oh, then now you're taking like a profit of like 100,000 Ghana cedis. Because then if you're taking 5,000, now
that was the profit I made from that gig.
So from then till now, what has been the focal point with the advancement of wedding events in Ghana? Like from then to now, how do you see wedding events?
I think now things have just changed. Things have just changed. The wedding industry or the wedding scene has transformed. Now, when I started then, we were not doing so much elaborate in terms of even decor and design. Most of the decor we did would just be on the table, like it was just table layout. Yeah. But now everything's on the ceiling now. You come for an event and then you go up and there's so much flowers up. There's so much chandeliers up. So things have advanced. Lighting, smoke, very elaborate backdrops, flooring, fancy chairs, tables, edible centerpieces, and so forth and so on. And so things have changed in terms of even emceeing. When I started, they were emceeing, but then now, the MCs are going the extra mile, entering venues with motorbikes.
Yeah, right now it's been more of like an art.
When I started, like costume were not so elaborate. Like the gowns were very simple, but now it's more detailed. When I started catering, even they would just bring the buffet table, but now people are building kitchenettes, also adding a lot of flowers to their setup and all that. So things have really advanced, and I think Ghana is doing a very fantastic job. People have taken the job we do seriously, because I think that we have made them understand that given the opportunity, we can do exploits, and that's what you're seeing. That's what we are seeing. Where we've been given the opportunity now, and so we are doing exploit. I guess you can see that.
Oh yeah, you guys are doing like great work, and weddings are trendy these days.
Yeah,
like you get on Twitter, hashtag Kensi 2020, hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag this, and decor is so super amazing these days.
Right.
And I don't know, is it like it's falling on a lot of people, like it's a pressure these days. The youth, I want this vendor, I want this, I want that. Someone will even tell you that if you don't have 50,000 Ghana cedis, don't even think of getting married to me and all that. But don't you think some of these things have also caused some pressure on a lot of youth these days?
It has, but then you should also know yourself as a person. You should also know yourself. You should know what your priorities are, and you should know that it's more than a wedding. It's know Yeah. You understand? Unless you're just living for the moment. But then if you know that after the 4 or 5 hours you have a whole life ahead of you, then you have to be smart about it. I tell people that, and then again, there is the school of all. We always have this argument. People ask why should one spend lavishly on weddings? And I ask myself, why do others spend lavishly on cars, on fashion, clothing, on houses, on travels? You realize that as individuals, there are things that we like. I can spend so much money on shoes. Maybe that's what I want. Yeah. I won't spend so much money on perfume. You understand? Somebody might spend so much money on their decor. That is what makes them happy. Someone will spend so much money on their food. That's what makes them happy. You understand? So if you can genuinely afford, why not?
Why not?
You understand? If you can afford to spend over $100,000 or 100,000 Ghana cedi on decor, why not? If you can afford to spend maybe 500 cedis per plate for catering, why not? You understand? So it depends. It's up to you. It's up to you, the individual. It's about choices and wants and what really makes you happy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You understand?
Scale of preference.
Yes. In our planning process, you realize that There are things that the couple spend much money on, and there are others that they don't really pay attention to. With that event where the couple want to spend so much on their clothing, and they don't really care about decor. Some want to spend so much on decor and don't really care about the food. Some want to spend so much on maybe the booze. They don't really care much about decor. You understand? So in all that, we find out what really are your interests, because we are not just decorators, we are planners. For us, it's a totality. You know, when you come to White Chalk, is the food, the music, the DJ. You know, who do you want to spend money on? Do you understand? So, I mean, but just know that, as I said, just know who you are. If you can't afford it, don't kill yourself.
Don't kill yourself.
Don't kill yourself. You might get married, and maybe after 5 years, who knows? You might just hit the jackpot, and you won't have what you, because we've had that. We had a wedding last 3 months where the lady said she's been married she has children as old as myself, about 5 of them, and she said that she didn't have that wedding she wanted, and so she wants to have the wedding now, and she really spent, you know, they spent a lot. She said, no, Brian, you know what, I didn't have that wedding that time. Even though I'm old, I'm still that young girl with that dream, and I want to have. And she had it. She wore the crown.
Cinderella wedding.
Yeah, she did, and she wore a ball gown.
Oh wow!
You understand? So I think about 18 years down the lane, she now can afford it, and she had her wedding. So if you can't afford it, don't read. It's not wise to put pressure on your guy to be, or friends or family. Just do what you can afford, and really and truly, if after 5-10 years you can afford it, come.
What would be the minimum budget for a wedding from White Chalk? A minimum budget.
So for us, we don't really have packages. I can't mention figures not because I don't want, but we don't really have packages, because then we tailor make the event. You understand? So for instance, when you come to us, for instance, in terms of choosing vendors, in terms of photographers, we have about 5 photographers we work with. So when we give you the bill for photographer and you think it's too much, we'll go on until we find the perfect fit for you. So we can't tell, okay, this is how much you need.
The least you have done, the least.
In terms of figures, I don't remember.
Like, claim quote.
I don't remember.
Like a 50K?
The entire thing?
The entire thing?
No, I don't think so. It will be more than that.
More than?
Yeah, it'll be more than
but
that.
Like 150 people?
It will be more than that.
Oh, wow.
More than
You need to make a bag. You know? So, I mean, aside all these things, what do you tell, should be your couples who are planning a wedding? Or these 3 things that you look at, or they should look at when it comes to planning a wedding?
We are planning a wedding. First off, get a good planner. If you can't afford a planner, get somebody who knows the terrain of the wedding industry, because the planner is like your god. Because the planner is the one who will tell you the do's and the don'ts. Planner is the one who will negotiate on your behalf. Planners have good relationship with almost all the vendors. They can get you very good deals. They can tell you, okay, you know what, let's cut down on this. But then when we get here, we can add up. Let's improvise on here. So getting a good planner is the most important thing. You understand? And as the bride or the couple to be, you don't have to do the planning by yourself. You might think that, no, you're going to stress yourself. On that day, you look like, you know, you regret, you know, having to do that by yourself. Just get a good planner who will double as your coordinator. Meaning that on that day, they are in charge of the event. They are making sure that all that you have discussed with the vendors is what exactly being done. It's very important to get a very good planner and a coordinator. You understand? And the planner is the one who also sits down with you and come up with your budget. Okay, because they know the terrain. They know, okay, maybe this fashion designer will charge you more than this person. So they will come up with a very good budget for you. And I mean, they'll give you a good show. So
after all is said and done, what are some of the negatives you had? I mean, the challenges you had as a wedding planner? Like,
one of the biggest challenge we've had, and we constantly work on, is when the couple approach us, there's always that tail of fourth person who is either calling the shots or who is maybe the one paying. So sometimes you should know who your clients are. Maybe more often than not, your clients are not even the couple. Your clients are the parents or an aunt or a friend. So we always trying to know who the real client is. Because once you get to know who the real client is, trust me, 80% of the job is done. Do you understand? So that's why for us, we'll have a conversation with you. We keep on having a conversation with you over and over again. So once we meet you, we tell you that, do you have somebody who is calling the shot? Do you have somebody who is like a stakeholder? We want that person to be part of the meeting. But more often than not, some of them will pull back, won't tell you. And on that day, that person shows up. No, but don't put this here. You didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do that. But then I'm like, we didn't have this conversation with you. We had it with the bride or the groom.
Yeah.
So for us, we constantly want to know who is calling the shot. If you are the one calling the shot, it's fine. But if you have a sister or a friend or a mother or a father, let's include that person in the meeting. And when it comes to decor, we are not able to find some of the things that we readily need here in Ghana. So we constantly have to buy maybe air freight and time differences, making. So that is just one of the few challenges. But apart from that,
So we'll do our last three after we come back from the commercial break.
Sure.
And these are what we're going to talk about. We're going to look at your most profound memories in creativity, because I know creativity is your hallmark.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll also look at any top brands or percentages you've worked with. Then the last ones will be your three motivational words or nuggets of wisdom for the youth out there who would want to pursue a career, a craft, whatsoever you could call it. So right after this commercial break, we'll delve into these three questions. Then we'll call it a day. Great. So it's been interesting. I guess you've enjoyed it so far. We'll go on a very quick breather. When we come back, we'll delve straight into these questions that we've asked Mr. Fafa Techimanson. Okay, so let's go back. Sure.
You go feel the vibe.
So you're welcome back again for this quick commercial break. We'll delve straight into the interview where we're going to talk about his magical moment in creativity, and we'll also look at what a prestigious wedding is. Then we'll delve into his three nuggets of wisdom for you who are also looking forward to start something. If you have an interest in wedding, if you have an interest in whatsoever craft that you're looking at, so let's delve straight into it. Your magical moment, since creativity is your hallmark.
So for every creative person, the magical moments are when you dream something and then you're able to bring it alive. Yeah. Because everything that you see happening starts from here. From the dream, from the mind, and all that. So for me, every event is like a magical moment, because the thing is that for every event in terms of decor, we want to create something new. So once whatever we have thought about comes alive, it's magic for us. That's always that is for us. Every event is like magic for us, because we're always dreaming, thinking. Because most of the things that we do, it's not like it's pre-done. We're doing it on that day. Is it going to work or not? Yeah. And so once it works, you're like, wow, magic has been created.
Right, cool. So your prestigious moment, prestigious wedding. What's a prestigious wedding?
What's up?
Because you talk about luxury.
Yeah, client's confidentiality. I can't mention it here. That's why I did this for this person.
Oh no, not mention. Okay, I get it.
You understand? Yeah. So yes, we've worked for high people in the society, like very, very high people in the society. We have very top brands, very important people, important figures, and all that. But my contract says that.
I get it. Yeah. What is a prestigious wedding? That is it. What is a
prestigious wedding? More often than not, people think prestige or luxury has got to do with money, but sometimes it is a state of the mind. It's just the comfortability, the beauty, the experience. So for us, it's creating a beautiful ambience, a lasting memory in your mind, once you're able to create that lasting memory in your mind, for us, that is luxury and that is prestige. And once you walk into the room, you're like, oh wow, this is a fresh, what was even the English? There's something, there's something beautiful, there's something fresh.
The lasting moment.
You understand. So once that happened for us, it is luxury or it is, very, very prestigious.
Okay, sure. So, your last words, the 3 nuggets of wisdom, your words of motivation to the youth out there who would want to get into wedding planning, who want to get into a career craft or anything. The 3 nuggets of wisdom for them. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I'll tell you to aspire to be different. Okay, I mean, if you know me, this is something I always say, that actually ordinary is boring, everybody's doing what everybody's doing, but tell yourself that, listen, I want to do it differently. I want to be me. I want to stand out. And it's all cliche. I mean, it's true. Once you aspire to be different, you'll be noticed. Because people will be like, but this person's not doing what everybody's doing, so you'll be noticed. Hard work is very important, and it pays. Hard work. I mean, we can never stop saying that hard work. I mean, work hard. Once you believe in that dream, work at it day and night, and you achieve it. And dreams don't work by themselves. I always like we all have dreams, but then we just wake up and make those dreams come into life. So whatever dream you have, you believe in that dream. Pray to God, talk to Him if you're a Christian, and work hard at it. Trust me, you will achieve it.
So 3 words: aspire to be different, work hard, and pray to God. Great. So these were the 3 nuggets of wisdom from CEO of WhiteChalkThePlanner, Mr. Brian Fafa Techimenson. Yes. Before we would clip onto this interview, your social media handles, how can people get reached to you? I mean,
yeah. So we are on Instagram at WhiteChalkThePlanner, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at WhiteChalkThePlanner, and then when you go on these platforms, you in our bio, you'll find our contact, our email, and so forth and so on.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having you.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Great. So these were the 3 nuggets of wisdom from our lovely guest. Yes. So aspire to be different, work hard, and pray to God. Don't stop praying. It is really, really good for us all. So as your host, and I'll be your host too. So I was your host, and I'll be your host the next time we meet on the same platform. Thank you very much for watching Experience with Odum, and stay tuned. See you. God bless you.
You go feel the vibe. Experience. You go feel the vibe. Tell them. Experience. Feel that experience.